Come on, I'll give you romance. Come on, I'll give you paradise. Make your dreams come true. You'll see fantasy. Magic can happen to you. I apologize for that. Never been a great vocalist. Obviously, you see the title of the video. I'm in the past, so I don't know what I titled it, but you know what this is about. Um, the GOAT, the greatest mangaka of all time, Akira Toriyama, has passed away at age 68. 1 year off. No, but obviously, wouldn't have been happy for him to pass away at 69 either. I want him to keep living another 20 years. I know the last video on my YouTube channel here is me saying Toriyama was cooked and Daima's not going to be good and all that. But even if whatever, that doesn't change the fact that this man is the greatest manga of all time. And if you guys know me, you know I'm a big One Piece stan. Been a big One Piece stan. It's my fave. But and we talk about Oda being the GOAT and say GOAT and all that, but Oda himself would tell you, and watching Dragon Ball on the podcast now, that me and Benel have been, that there would be no One Piece without Dragon Ball. And you could say that about a lot of animes and mangas out there, but it's really true about One Piece. We watching Dragon Ball, it's so clear how influential Dragon Ball was on that particularly. And that's just, let's widen that scope and talk about the influence Dragon Ball had on manga and anime in total throughout the world. You know, there's always that sort of tropey talking point about kids getting bullied for liking anime and manga growing up and all that, or and you know, I'm sure that happened to people. Luckily it never happened to me per se, but Dragon Ball Z was the thing that made anime acceptable in the West. There's no debate about this. There's not any argument to be had. I'll give a shout out to Sailor Moon for on the shoujo side, obviously. But in the grand scheme of things, especially with shonen and all that, Dragon Ball Z was obviously the thing that pushed anime into the mainstream in the West. And even for something like, we were watching the new live action Avatar: The Last Airbender, and obviously everybody knows The Last Airbender is heavily influenced by anime and manga. Just with like a lot of, you know, the martial arts forms and the way the characters are animated and their physicality. So yeah, even something like that. I mean, yeah, there'd be no Avatar: The Last Airbender without Dragon Ball either. I'm gonna say it, and I think The Last Airbender is one of the greatest shows of all time. Yeah, and now we have the modern day of anime where it's like mainstream. We got like the Demon Slayer movie, did gangbusters during COVID. A Jujutsu Kaisen movie in the West that I got to go see with my homies Patak and Taven a couple years ago. And yeah, even that last Dragon Ball Z movie that me and the gang got to see in theaters, Katie, Alex, and Jeremy Thunder. And yeah, man, I'm sure people are concerned about Super and Daima not having Toriyama around to complete them. I'm not sure what the deal is with Daima. I don't know if that's already done. I don't know. But I mean, at least we have that Dragon Ball Z ending and that GT ending. You know, I talk a lot of crap about GT too, and that wasn't Toriyama, but at least that felt like some sort of finality for Goku. I don't want to lengthen this video artificially to appease the YouTube algorithm, so I'm just going to say that Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama-sensei, the greatest manga of all time, and your influence is cannot be overstated within this medium. There's no way to overstate it. Um, he's the goat. Chrono Trigger, Legend of Dai. Oh my god, Dragon Quest, the games, but also if you haven't watched the anime Legend of Dai, I highly recommend checking it out with the art done by Toriyama as well. Um, yeah, so check that out. Um, and yeah, obviously Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball. Um, we wouldn't have a show without him. So, arigato.